This is huge as the Pittsburgh Penguins play their first preseason game, and we have major roster updates regarding new faces that will have fans fired up as they play Montreal tonight. Hello everyone, welcome back to Penguins Digest. My name is Nikash Ganguli. Hope everyone is having a great day, a great time when you guys are watching this. Penguins hockey is back. Hockey is back. The preseason is here. And we have a lot to talk about regarding the Penguins' new players and how they will be playing in tonight's game. I will also highlight some players that maybe you want to take a look at as you watch tonight's first preseason game against the Montreal Canadiens. To me, the first preseason game is always so much fun. It's just, maybe we're a little bit weird for watching it because none of the marquee players are playing. But we love hockey. We love the Penguins. And, of course, we're going to turn on the TV tonight to play against Montreal. But before we get into that, make sure you guys do, of course, subscribe to the channel. We are at 67.5% of viewers who are not subscribed. So if you are in that large portion of viewers who are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's easy. It's free. It's right down below. Hit that button, and we'll get all the Penguins news to you right when it comes out. And also, if you do want to join the Digest team, we are always looking for more people to join the team. If you are a huge, passionate fan of the four major North American sports, we have channels covering all of them. Maybe it's a team that's not being covered, and you want to talk about your favorite NHL team. Maybe it's even the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you want to join me on the channel, check the link down below, digestmedia.ca/join-us if you want to apply. We're releasing application. We have a super welcoming team, and if you want to, do what I do or do what a lot of the other Digest channels are doing, check that link. You can apply. It's easy. And we'll be sure to take a look at that as well. So join the team. It'll be awesome. I think you guys would have a lot of fun. All right. We're 2 minutes in. Let's get into the video. So first things first, of course, if we do look at the Penguins lines for today. Right now, these are the Montreal lines. Don't worry about that. If we do look at the Penguins lines today, these are sort of a draft line from Chell Penguins on Twitter. Really good Pittsburgh Penguins account. So obviously these are made up of the players that are playing today. These might not be the exact lines, but you have Heinen, Novak, Mantha, Fabry, Braz, Hayes, Harvey Pinard, Kindle Poulin, Imama, Calvert, Pustonen, Shea, Dumba, Pickering, Brunick, I might be pronouncing that name wrong, Graves, Clifton, and then Miroshov and Blomqvist, of course. So, obviously none of the main superstars are in there. No Crosby, no Malkin, no Letang, no Karlsson, no Jari, even no Russ, no Raquel. So, it's a lot of new faces in the lineup. I think for someone that is unfamiliar with a lot of the new players, it will be very, very cool to look at these guys. But the main player I want to focus on first is obviously the goaltender. So first things first, Penguins head coach Dan Muse said the plan is for the goalies to split tonight's preseason opener against the Canadiens. Joel Blomqvist will start and Sergei Miroshov will take over. But let's take a look at Miroshov because it will be some of his first games here. Blomqvist, I think Penguins fans are a little bit more familiar with just because he has played games with the team before. So there was an article from Josh Yohe, of course, talking where he asked some of the players about Miroshov, and this is from Brian Rust. Miroshov has made a handful of spectacular saves and has gotten the attention of a couple of notable veterans. Yeah, I have noticed him, Brian Rust said. In fact, I noticed him last year too. Even before camp this year, I noticed him. It's not hard to notice him. A lot of notices, I guess. He's that much better this year. It remains to be seen if Miroshov makes the Penguins roster out of camp, but it would appear quite unlikely given that the team almost surely wants him to marinate his talents in the AHL for the majority of the season. Those talents, though, are really something to see. So, obviously, Miroshov is someone the Penguins are looking at to be very, very good, possibly a future starter. And last year in the ECHL, he did have a solid 9.22 with a 240 goals against average. And the AHL, pretty good league, might I add, hit a 913. And then in the KHL, or I guess the MHL, he had a 930. He only puts up good numbers. I mentioned this in a past video. If you scroll down a bit and look at some of my Miroshov videos as well, he's very, very, very good. I honestly think he's going to be very solid for the Penguins. Maybe not this year, maybe not even next year, but I think in the next 2 years, the Penguins will have a bona fide starter in Miroshov who will be perfect to usher in the new era of Penguins, just the new era of the Pittsburgh Penguins, I guess. It'd be nice to have a goalie for them. Right now, they have obviously Shilovs and Jari, but I don't know how sure of a thing that's going to be, of course. So, I like Miroshov. I think he's going to be a fun player to watch today. And obviously, Blomqvist, whose stats I don't have on me, but obviously another player to watch. Two goalies that I think in the future could be the tandem for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Another player to look at tonight is going to be Matt Dumba, who came over in a trade from Dallas. Honestly, expectations are not too high for him, of course. I think he's going to be a 6th defenseman for them, or maybe even a 7th in and out of the lineup. Again, he's obviously, been pretty injury-riddled throughout his career. He had a major injury a few years ago, which kind of impacted his play. Only 10 points in 63 games last year. I don't think he played much playoff games for the Dallas Stars, but someone to look at, just a new face in a new place. Another player is going to be, obviously, Anthony Mantha, who's been very, very interesting because he did, I believe it was an ACL or a pretty significant injury that took him out for the majority of the season. But he is someone I'm a big fan of. I think he could work very well in Pittsburgh. He's a big body. He, in the past, he scored a lot of goals. I think he's going to be someone Penguins fans are going to take a liking to if he can stay healthy. I think health has been an issue for him in the past. Obviously, only 7 points in 13 games, though. So, just over half point a game, but again, only 13 games. But he's had a solid career, 303 points in 507 games, 146 of those are goals. So, a top 6 option for the Penguins, maybe a third-line option. I mean, given how Sidney Crosby plays with players, maybe even a first-line option, because there's going to be a lot of moving parts with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Someone like Rutger McGrody, who I think people have penciled in the top 6, is not going to be playing for a while. Again, he has an injury that'll keep him out an indefinite amount of time. So I think it will be interesting to see what's going to happen with someone like Anthony Mantha, and if he can play some good minutes for them tonight. Obviously, he's a veteran. He's been around the league. Teams like, I believe he was on Detroit, he was on Washington, he was on Calgary. He's been around the league, so I think it'll be a good thing for Dubas if Mantha is good, and maybe they can trade him at the deadline. And then, a couple young players that are coming in for the Penguins this game is their first-round draft pick, Benjamin Kindle. Obviously, just picked 11th overall. We have a video on him on the channel as well. Very, very, very good point production in the WHL. I think he will end up back there, but 99 points in 65 games. The year before that, he had 60 points in 68, so just a natural progression. And I think if he does end up going back down to the WHL this year, I think he's probably easy money for 100 points, maybe even 120, just looking at the progression. Again, in the playoffs, also 15 points in 11 games. So I think Benjamin Kindle's he's a skilled player, and, maybe a typical Kyle Dubas pick if you look at his past in Pittsburgh and in Toronto. But I think it's going to be good to watch. 5'10", 180, pretty average, so not too small, but also not a huge player. But I like his skill. He's a player the Penguins, I think, are going to be excited for. I think fans should be excited for him, and it's going to be very, very cool to watch for his first game in a Penguins uniform. And, of course, also, we have Tristan Braz, a second-round pick 4 years ago now, which is crazy, but he's only 22. I know a lot of Penguins fans are interested in what he's going to do this year. Obviously, in his first AHL season, he had 37 points in 59 games, which isn't too bad. I don't think he's a high-end Penguins prospect, but to me, there is something there of an NHL player. He's had good numbers in Wilkes-Barre in the past season, and I don't expect him to make the NHL as well this year, but the AHL Penguins, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, I think are only going to be better this year. There's a couple good goalies going to be down there, some good prospects, and I think he'll have a better season than he did last year. Again, the AHL is not an easy league. It's also a slower league. Points don't come as easy. Just generally speaking, I'm not saying it's easier than the NHL, but points, point production isn't as high as it is in the NHL compared to the AHL. So Tristan Ross is someone to look at for sure. Maybe he gets some first-line minutes or second-line minutes. Again, 6 feet, 205, not too shabby at all, 22 years old. Still young, a lot of potential there, so I honestly think he also could be a player to watch out for the Penguins. And then the Penguins are obviously against the Montreal Canadiens. They're icing a pretty solid lineup, so hopefully the Penguins can put up a good fight. Someone like Ivan Demidov is someone to look at if you're looking over there. I know there were some rumors about him for Crosby. That's probably not going to happen. Noah Dobson will also be someone to look at because he's not his first game with Montreal. And then Samuel Montembeault, who might be at the Olympics for Team Canada. So if you're an American Penguins fan, I know a lot of Penguins fans might be Canadian because of Crosby, but if you're an American Penguins fan, someone to look out that you might be playing against in the Olympics if that's what ends up happening. And then obviously they are in Montreal tonight. Sidney Crosby also grew up a Penguins fan, so he gets to go back. I assume they're playing in the Bell Center, but I'm not sure. I honestly think this crowd could be pretty good for someone like Sidney, given all the rumors that's going on. But Crosby's not even playing, which I am just remembering now, so ignore what I just said. But also they are playing against Columbus on Wednesday, and then they have the Red Wings on Friday near the end of the week. So, preseason is back. Let me know what you guys are looking for today from the Penguins roster. Again, guys like Ben Kindle, Tristan Braz, obviously some new faces like Mantha and Dummer are all going to be playing. But to me, Miroshov is a guy I would be focusing on the most. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Again, check out the description if you want to apply to be part of the Digest team. Hit subscribe, and of course, we will always be back with new Penguins videos right when they happen. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one, as always, everyone.